Hello Cloud Experts. So let's get started with a quick demo of IAM. So either you can open IAM by using these recently visited services. So you see all the recently visited services here. Or you can simply type in here IAM. You can click on this link and get into IAM. Or you can go to the services tab here, and that services tab you will see security, identity and compliance. Under that you will see a service called as IAM. You can click here on IAM and IAM page will open. And if you look at this in the upper right part, so I'm just increasing the size a bit. Okay, so in the upper right part you will see global. That means IAM is a global service and your username and passwords are available across all AWS regions. So here in the left side you will see the dashboard. In the dashboard you will see groups, users, roles and policies. So we are going to talk about all these four things one by one. There are many more things, but as of now we are going to talk about all these four things: groups, users, roles and policies. So let's get started with users. So in case of users, I will simply click on users here. These are going to be IAM users. So IAM user means they are going to be identity and access management users. They will be created under root users, and I can define what permissions they will have to access AWS resources. So let's move forward by starting with add user. So when I click on add user, so I will see CTG1, which is Cloud Training Guru 1. I can create multiple users at the same time, but as of now I'm going with only one particular user. Now there are two different options available. Either I want to go with access types, whether which is like programmatic access, which allows me to log in into AWS infrastructure by using a access key or secret access key, which is required for AWS APIs, command line interface or SDKs and some other development tools. So if I really want AWS API, CLI or SDKs and other development tools to log in into my AWS account, I will give them programmatic access. However, if I want the end user as human beings to log in into these AWS infrastructure, I will go with AWS Management Console access. So this is what I'm going to choose. I'm going to create either it can be auto-generated password or I can go with a custom password. So in this scenario, I'm going with a custom password, and there are some limitation on custom password, which I have chosen as CTG12345. That means it has to be minimum six alphanumerical letters. So I will go with custom password here, and whenever the user is logging on for the very first time, do I want that user to reset the password? If I want to do it, I will select it, otherwise I will uncheck it. Now the next permission, we'll move next towards permissions. Either I can assign some policies here, so add users to the group, I can add users to the group, or copy permissions from existing user, or I can attach existing policies available directly. Now what I want these users to do, either it can be a user which is the administrator access, or I want users which can write some S3 buckets. So I can go with Amazon S3 full access, or I want some users who can create some EC2 instances, and I can go with EC2 full access. So depending on what these users are supposed to do, according to that I will give them different permissions, and these permissions are given by something called as policies. We will talk about policy a little later. So as of now, I'm just giving one policy of administrator access to this particular user, and we will see what do we really mean by it. Next, I can add some tags. I can say this person is from a department and department is development. So this is the key department and the value as development. So I can create some tags, so it helps me to keep a track of my all AWS resources. Next, review. I will simply review it. So username, AWS access type with a password, console password type, required password reset, and permission boundaries. So whenever I go with this, I can actually create a user like this. So I will simply go ahead and create a user here. Now my user is created, and if I really want to download this file, so I can download the details of this particular user. At the same time, if I have chosen programmatic access, in that scenario, I can also go with, I will also get some access key and secure access key. However, these users will not be able to log in by using aws.amazon.com. Instead of that, they will going to use this particular URL which is mentioned here. So I will simply copy this URL and open a incognito window, and when you open this, I will simply type the same stuff here. Now if you see this, either it shows me the account ID 12 digit or account alias. So account alias is mentioned here. My username was CTZ1 and my username was CTZ12345. So I'm just going ahead with that. Sign in. So this is now my IAM user which is available. So my IAM username is CTG1 and my account name remains the same. So we can sign out and go back to our root account. So we are here back in our root account. By using this, we have just created a user. Now let's go back and start creating a group. Now in this case, we are just creating a group, and that group name is development group. So I have created a group for developers and department is development department. So I'll go ahead, and now what I can do is, what is the policies which should be given to the users, or I'll say the groups. So all the users, I can have many users in the same group, and the policy which is given to the group is available for all the users in this particular group. So in this case, let's say I have already given admin policy to the user, so it doesn't matter what policy I give here. But if, let's say, just to take an example, I am giving S3 full access to this particular group. So every user who is a part of this group will always have full access to the S3 service, but they will not be able to do the other, they will not be able to use other services. So next, add step. So now we are just creating the group here. As of now, we have just created the group. Now click on this group action, add users to the group. So now, as of now, we don't have any users in the group, so we can simply click on this particular user and add this user to the group. So user one is now part of the group which is development. If you really want it, I can simply click it here, or I can remove users from the group as well. Now let's move forward and just understand what are the roles. The roles are similar to the user creation, but they are actually not designed for the end users or the human beings. They are actually designed for services which wants to access other services. So let's say I want to create a particular role, and I want to create this role where EC2 allows EC2 instance to call AWS services on your behalf. So I'll just go with this. Next, what permission I want to give it to this particular role, and this particular I want to allow S3 full access to AWS. So I want to give, one second, I will just simply select it here, and I will simply say, okay, I want to give S3 access to EC2. Next, add tags, I will say department, and I will say development. Next, review. So role name, I mentioned role name S3 access for EC2. So it should be continuous. So I have added S3 access to EC2. So this allows EC2 instance to call S3 service on your behalf. So this is the explanation, and I can go ahead and create this role here. So this role will allow EC2 service to access S3 service as and when required. So as of now, I can just cancel it. Now let's look at the policies. The policies are typically the JSON documents, and let's say what is the policy what we have in the administrator access. So if I click at this, so it shows me the JSON format which says version, some version, and then statement it says allow everything, action on everything, and resources everything. However, if I go and look for other policy, let's say I will look for S3 policy here, Amazon S3 full access. So in this scenario, if you look at this, the action is possible only within S3 and resources are all star. So that means they will be able to do all these things in S3. So they have got full access for S3, right? So what we have here is in action means on what resources this action will be available. Now we'll go ahead again, go to policy and type S3. In S3, I will just go with read-only access, and when I click on this, we see icon effect is allowed, but action is limited. Action is limited only on S3 get and S3 list. So they will not be able to write anything to S3, but they will be able to read the files or the objects from S3. So this is how we can restrict various kind of stuff in our IAM. So we have in IAM, we have groups, which are group of multiple users. The users, which are actually the human beings or the individuals in a given organization, and the roles, which are typically available for AWS resources so that they can access other AWS resources. And all these three, group, users, and roles, should be given some policies so they are able to do something in your AWS infrastructure. Now, just to understand this, policies are the JSON documents, and they allow you, they make sure what are the authority available for that particular user, that particular group, and that particular role. And one user can be a part of multiple groups. One group can also have multiple users. At the same time, all group, users, and role can have multiple policies assigned to them. So it's not that they can have only one policy. They can have multiple policies for them. So this was a quick demo on IAM. I hope you enjoyed this session. Look forward to see you in the next session.